good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It depends where you are and what time it is where you are at. Well, thank you for joining us. We're having a program in English tonight because our guest speaks English, but Mama President Pepe, who's on my left here, she's going to translate in French or Lingala for everybody. So please get ready, call somebody, share, because our guest, she is a special guest. She's going to explain what she's have gone through, the stuff that she's had to endure, and she's going to basically explain so that everybody can understand what it is to have COVID as a disease and also to have COVID as a vaccine. So please get ready. We're about to start in about 1 minute. We're going to start. So thank you.
I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power, I work in miracles, I live a life of favor. For I know who I am. I'm working in power, I work in miracles, I live a life of favor. For I know.
Oh, hi, Natalie.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
Can you remember the whole world?
I just found out, not long
See
ago.
the stuff?
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Very amazing.
I'm so impressed.
Smoking turkey, fresh turkey,
Literally.
chicken. You know, I saw some fish because I love fish.
Are you sure?
Oh my God.
Show me because I'm actually. They've even got chicken.
Look at that one. Everything is full.
Oh my God. Wow.
20 great chicken street.
Oh yeah.
Soul food.
Food, and they open from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you're surrounded by the area, please come and shop.
Great. You're
Also
welcome.
on Sundays, more shop closed on Friday, on Sundays, but you've already opened from 10 to 4
a.m.
as
to
well.
4 p.m.
And the quantity is a lot as well.
Amazing
So we can't
quantity,
deny.
amazing price.
Wow. What kind of fish is this?
Wow, croaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yellow croaker.
Yellow croaker.
Yeah.
I should
Everything
probably
there.
try this.
It's just amazing.
Amazing.
Look at that. There's chicken there, chicken legs. You love chicken legs. All the veg are there.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to discuss COVID-19, the vaccine, and everything around it. But before we do, I just want to introduce people on the panel. I have Mama President Pipe on my left, and I have Mama Nene Coach on my immediate right. And I'm going to introduce or let our guest introduce herself. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, a little bit about what she does, and also who she is, and we're going to take it from there. So you go on.
All right. Good evening, viewers. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Olajumoke Olagbemi, but for the sake of this meeting, can you call me Ola for short?
Ola, okay.
Yeah. So I'm a mother of 5. I'm a social care assessor with one of the local authority here in Greater Manchester. My job basically is conducting a Care Act assessment. So I deal with adults from 18 years and above. So part of it is completely an holistic assessment, which means, so it could be hospital discharges. So when people are discharged from hospital, if they have been identified to need some support in the community, so I will go and complete the assessment and identify the needs that they need to facilitate their discharge, to get them safely back home.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not just basically hospital, we also go into in the community to support people as well. So if anyone has been identified in the community, so you needed some support, we also complete assessments of such, to put some care package in place if it's been identified that they need such support. It could be things like equipment as well. So we also do things like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But can you break it a bit down? What do you mean by support when they need support? What do you mean by that?
All right. So if, for example, someone that has been independent all their life and the sickness strike and they end up in hospital and they couldn't, okay, they are been said to be fit for discharge. However, they couldn't do the things that they would normally do prior to being admitted into hospital. So it could be things like their mobility has deteriorated. It could be things like personal care. So for someone who has been able to wash themselves before and they've not been able to do that anymore. So we identify those things. What are the things that we need to put in place to enable this person to be able to do the things that they would normally do prior to being admitted into hospital? So I will go in, speak to the person, and what we've got to remember is that the assessment is about the person. So you have to give them choice. You have to speak to them and see what they would like, because they have to contribute to the assessment as well, because it's mainly about them. So somebody could say, oh, I would love to be able to, for someone to take me out, maybe for a walk, or I would love for someone to come around and support me with meals. But you have to identify as well. You've got to remember that it is about their need, not their want as well. So that's something that we need to bear in mind as well. So if I've gone in and said that, look, this person needs support to be able to help them to get their independence back. So mostly I always advise that you help them to gain that independence. So you are not doing it for them, but encouraging them to do it themselves. You know, so you help them, you encourage them to be able to do all these things back, and then for them to gain their independence. So once they've gained their independence, then obviously they're able to live safely in the community. And like I said earlier, it's not just from hospital. It could be people who are actually in the community and they need that support. You know, it could be, you know, things like that. Or it could even be carers. So for example, we have people that care for other people. So if they need that break or they're struggling, for us to reduce that carer's breakdown, we go in. If it's come through our duty that this person needs the support, so we go in, we complete an assessment for the citizen as well as for the carer as well, to see what can we put in place for the citizen to support their, you know, their independence in the house, as well as what can we put in place for the carers to make sure that we don't have a carer's breakdown. So what we're doing is reducing the risk of people going into hospital. So delaying the, you know, delaying hospital admissions, because what we don't want is congestion in hospital. We don't want people to just be going into hospital. What can we put in place in the community to delay it, to prevent it, if possible?
All right. Mama Pipe, I don't know, can you please translate?
Everything that you say.
Yes.
It's going to be a bit a challenge, to be honest. Dès qu'on a biso a expliqué la biso que azali mutu o a travailler kana social care, baon basala ka assessment, biso to ebi assessment ezanini, pona ko permettre bato o bazali na maladie, so ka uti par exemple na hôpital et qu'il faut azonga na ndako. Bako identifier besoin ya mutu wana po ba yeba soki aza na besoin ya nini na ndako na ye po ba permettre ye azonga indépendant ndenga azalaki liboso ekozala ke mutu abini hôpital aza na besoin mutu moko aidaka ye tansu na kosukola mutu musu aide na bilei mutu musu aide tansu na kosala repassage to besoin moko aza nango na ndako na ye alors ekoleka epa na bango bako déterminer ce qui vraiment besoin les ali un besoin réel ce ba monde qui est réel bako pesa au budget moko pona oye bako meet need wana donc musala o bango basala ka ya wana en bref alobi.
Okay. Alors Coach Nene, I don't know, is there any question that you want to ask?
Yeah, Ola, I've got a question for you. I mean, because you say you are social worker assessor, so you guys are the one who meet the client and talk to the client if you've got capacity, and then decide about what care you can put in place for the person. So, you know, there is a big challenge when it came with resident with learning disability. Do you have anything down? Because I do work with learning disability people. So do you have anything down? Because it's quite challenging, because sometimes you can see someone who suffer from learning disability who don't have any family member around. And then you're going to bring something that is not really what the person really needs. So it's like, who exactly decide about people that have no one around and they've got learning disability?
Right. That's a good question, actually, because I do with other general, though I'm not in learning disability sector, but obviously I could come across somebody. So the way I do my work is if I go into to see somebody, And obviously, normally we have a department that deals with learning disability, so they specialize in learning disability. But I'm just talking generally now. So I think it's more about gathering as much information as possible. Getting information about the person's background. In fact, before you go in, if it's possible, get as much information as possible. So say if there has been some organization that has been involved with this person, find out have they got any parents, do they have any family? And if they haven't got any family, what has it been like with them? Who do they have any friend? Do they have anyone that they talk to? Neighbors? Anything at all? So I will normally gather as much information because sometimes most of our cases we get it through duty. So it goes through our contact center and then it comes to duty. So you need to do your own background check and see, get as much information about this person. And then when I go in to see this citizen, I just go in with the mind that, look, I want to get as much information as possible through this person. And they say, I'm not going in with the mentality that, look, this is what, I'm not going to be in control, really. Because the kind of assessments we do, it has to be about the person. So you're not being controlling that, oh, this is what I'm going to know. It's about them. Have a chat with them. Even the fact that somebody has got any disability does not mean that they can't express themselves. Some of them can express themselves. Some may not be able to. Some may only be able to express through writing. So, you know, I haven't done my own background check. I would know the best way to communicate with the person. So obviously, I'm going to be asking as much information from him or her and say, look, what is it like with you? What are the things that you like? What are the things that you like to do? What do you want to derive from this assessment? What do you want to gain from the assessment? So, and then with that, that will help me to build on their strength. We always say, look, like what we use now, we want to build on people's strengths. We don't want to focus on what they cannot do. Let's focus on their strength, on what they are able to do. And that is why our assessment now is strength-based assessment. So we don't want to say, oh, they're not able to do this, they're not able to. Even if they can't do it, what is the little that they are able to do? For example, if I've been to somebody and they say, oh, this person is not able to wash and dress themselves, even if it's as little as being able to wash some part of their body, that is something, that is strength. You know, so we want to emphasize on what they can do. And at the end of the day, I will now look at that and say, look, they're able to do this, they're able to do that. And then based on the information I've gathered, speaking to other organizations, or even it could be my colleague. If you've been to see this person before, what are they like and things like that. And, you know, try my best and see what I can get out of it. And like I said, in my organization, we have learning disability department. We have people that deals with mental health and all that. So, and if there's anything that I'm not able to do, obviously, I will seek advice. Speak to my manager. Because I work with integrated team, so I'm based in the community. So where I'm based, we have the district nurses, we have people from physiotherapists, you know, we have people from, you know, different background. So which makes the job a lot easier. So if there's anything that is beyond me that I can handle, I can always seek advice or seek for help.
That's right.
Mama, can you translate?
Ndeko mama nene atuni question que yo bino ba atuni ndeko question que yo a osalaka musala na care bino bosalaka assessment ya batu ya care bon siko bat o bazali na problème learning disability to benga ngoni
difficile à
difficulté
bandeko o bazali na disability o bazali na handicap, voilà. Bandeko bazali na handicap peut-être mentalement, voilà. Ndenge nini bokoyi kosunga bango na katikati ya ba assessment bosalaka. Alors ndeko apandi ko expliquer ndenge basalaka biki ezali na département mobimba o esokipa na makambo ya learning disabilities et puis bah travailler en équipe équipe wana nde mtezo décision mais ba décision ka te na kombo ya mutu wana ba kokende pa ya mutu wana po ba yeba quand même besoin na lobiki question mutu azali na disability lobiki akoki ko s'exprimer te même mutu o azana disability azali en mesure ya ko s'exprimer alors il faut ko yoka ye soko yoki ye to ko tuna peut-être bandeko na ye ko tuna pe ba voisin na ye ko tuna communauté sika mutu wana évolue akaba oyebisa quand même besoin na ye à partir à wana nde ko permettre bango ba yeba eloni ba ko cha en place pour na ko sunga ye bazali équipe oyo ezali ko travailler ba physio bazali ba tu ya citizen advice bureau bazali donc ezali équipe munene et na niveau ya mutu na mutu akoyi ko apporter un plus afin que ba apporter support moko ezali approprié na mutu o azali na problème ya disability.
Thank you. Sister Ola,
Yes.
I've got a question with regards to our community when it comes to people with disability. I'm talking about the African community here, because this is what I've noticed myself when it comes to people dealing with disability. Family members or any family who God forbid are going through that situation, it's almost like a shame. It's almost like the elephant in the living room that nobody wants to talk about it, and everybody's trying to hide. Nobody really discusses that with ease. So in your field, is it the same way that you have also noticed, or you have also worked with people in our community who are going through this and they really have difficult time just seeking help because it's taboo to have a child with disability? It's almost like evil having that situation. Now, on your field, what has been your experience with regards to that?
Please, before I forget. Papa Maréchal a posé question alobi soki mama nakati ya mosala na ya salaka asa kuta une expérience oyo parce que ye a remarqué que nakati ya communauté ya ba africain soki mutu azali na mwana azali na problème ya disabilité et ça handicap et ça la que batu baza na difficulté ya kokende kosenga lisungi et ça la bango lokola ke ba moeba lo bazate pour que bazana besoin ya aide parce que batu ba juger bango batu baza ko discriminer bango batu bazotala bango na regard moko o bisonyo soto yebindinge batala ka bango alors yango azoko tuna est-ce que ye na musala na yasa kutana likamande ngwana to ezaka ye mo nde mutasa remarka.
Okay, so to answer that question, it's quite a wide thing, you know. I personally have experienced it, so I'm going to be telling you my experience. And then I originally come from Nigeria, southwest of Nigeria. And while I was growing up, my dad was poorly at some point, which eventually died. But I remember that at that time, and I'm trying to make this broad now. Okay, so at that time, my dad was saying things. He was telling me all sort of things that, oh, can you see that? It's like he was hallucinating. But as at then, I never thought that was what was happening because I was quite young. But you know, our mentality, when you say things like that, you think that, oh, this is witchcrafty. Oh, somebody is doing my dad, you know. Oh, someone is behind it. Oh, somebody is definitely behind. You know, that is our mentality as Africans. I'm sure I'm saying
that's exactly,
But when I came into this country, I got to find out that, look, it's not necessarily that it's witchcraft. It could be things like Alzheimer's disease. It could be things like dementia, you know, because I've come across people with dementia in this field of study. And then when we talk about disability, like you asked, well, I've got 3 of my kids that have got one diagnosis or the other. So like my second son, he has diagnosis of learning disability. My 4th son was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder as well as ADHD. But you know, from my background, we don't believe things like that. I'm talking about me before. I don't believe there's anything like that. I believe that, oh no, I reject it in Jesus' name. Normally, that is my mentality growing up. You know, and I thought, no, it's not my portion. My son is fine, he's all right. I don't know why they're giving him that diagnosis, but that was my mentality because I was in denial. I wouldn't accept it. So my second was diagnosed in 2017. I said, no, it's not my portion in Jesus' name. I never accepted it. My 4th son as well in 2018, he has the same diagnosis. I mean, no, he's only a little boy. He will outgrow it. It's just a normal thing that kids go through. I never accepted it. And then I had a son in 2017. He's going to be 4 in May. And I was noticing some things in him. Like when he was like 18 months old, this boy could run for 3 hours non-stop.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, this one is going to be into sports. It must be really, really good. But then when he turns to 2, I will ask my husband, shouldn't he have been saying things? Shouldn't he have been saying things like mommy, daddy? My husband would say, oh no, don't worry, it's fine. It's just that it's just delay. Oh, can you remember our 4th son? He didn't talk until when was this? And then that kind of gave me a peace of mind. But then last year when he was 3 years old and he wasn't still saying mommy, he never said a word, then I began to be worried that no, something is not right. How come he's not talking? Could it be delayed speech or something? But then I was like, oh, maybe it's fine, it's fine. Then I visited a family friend of mine, somebody that you know as well. And he said to me that, I'm sorry, Mama, I need to tell you this thing. I hope you won't be offended. I'm like, no, go ahead and say it. Actually, I think Timmy has autism. And I'm like, no, it's not possible. And then it now got down to me that definitely something is wrong. But you know the funny thing, because we are Africans, my sister noticed it, but she was too scared to tell me. People around me, they noticed it, but they were too scared because they feel they don't know how I'm going to take it. And now you will have thought that me being in the sector where I work, I should have picked it easily. But I never did. Or maybe I should say I just decided to block my head to it that no, it is not me. And because of my religion as well, I'm like, no, it is not me. No, it's not happening. No, that is the devil trying to torment my head. And then that was when it got down to me that actually, wait a minute, something is wrong somewhere. And then, you know, I confided in him and he told me, and I told him, look, actually, you know, this my son as well has this, that one too has this. Then that was where, honestly, but even after that, for a good 5 months, I was still in denial. I was always in tears. It's like my life was shut down, you know, because nobody wants to have a child that will not do the thing that he or she should be doing normally. But after a while, I come to my son, I thought, you know what, this thing has happened. I need to accept support, which I have not accepted for nearly 4 or 5 years with my other ones. I need to think, okay, let me think about the positivity. This is what they've said. Okay, fine. What can I do to help him? So I now accepted support. And I thought, you know, okay, I got the local authority involved. They gave us a key worker who will be supporting him and things like that. And just like I've said, there are people out there that may be going through the same thing. And what I would say is that, you know what, when things happen, we just have to accept it. Of course, we're going to be praying because we are people of faith. But at the same time, we also have to accept support, you know, and see how we can help. Like I went to see the doctor some days ago, and what she said to me, and I asked the question that, do you think Timmy will ever speak? She said, it's difficult for her to say, but what she wants me to look at is for us to take it one step at a time. That as long as I'm accepting the support, I'm working well with the authorities, we take it one step at a time. So we try and put the support that we can put in place. Like we've got the speech and language therapist in place. And there's this program that I've just started. Well, I'm going to be starting this week. It's called the PAC team. So they will be teaching me what to do, the way to communicate, which is obviously of paramount importance.
Oh, thank you so much. So basically, it's still common in our community.
Yeah, it's like a stigma.
That stigma,
like,
it's still there. So, Mama...
And you expect me to repeat
everything
that you said. Ouais, des réponses par rapport à la question Papa Maréchal Atuna qui est par rapport à bana ou bazana handicap. Alors, après ces exemples, il y a yemoko à l'objet partager expérience personnelle, il y a yemoko. Tango azaki na Nigeria, azaki na mwana muke amonaki papa na ye makanisi za okima papa na ye azoba tansu ke papa ni azako alisini nde ntolobaka tansu papa ni makanisi zo kima bande ko kansate ke ko za handicap moko ko affecter papa na ye et puis malheureusement papa na kufaki et puis epe ayeko ya na mboka oyo tango ya na mboka oyo afandi na mboka oyo ayeko bota bana na ye na katikati ya bana na ye quelques-uns ya bana na ye baye koyebisa ye ke baza na problème ya handicap wana babiki baza na autisme. Alors aboyaki yango lokola na communauté ya biso toyebi makambo wana ezala so biso ke mwana aza na problème et que il faut basunga yo asa lobaki au nom de Jésus et que kosala mate ayebi ke bana baza bien bakola na bango eza na onka peut-être que bazoko ko lobate et kozwa temps surtout ke baza bana mibali musu baloba na retard bakoloba na bango donc aboyaki azalaki mpenza andimaki yango te akokaki kondima te ke bana bakozala na problème alors ntango aye kobota mwana na ye ya mokie na 2017 2017
Yes.
na 2017 ntango aboti mwana na ye mwana bandi kokola baye kokende epai ya moninga moko oyo ya ye moninga nayebisi ye ndenge aremarke mwana amoni ke mwana wana mpe azali na problème ye alobi non mwana akoki kozala na problème te moninga en tout cas nalingi kotia mal à l'aise te mais peut-être ke soki otali yango bien okoki koluka lisungi parce que namoni ke mwana ana problème ake ayebisi mpe mobali na ye mobali na abi non mwana kobosana te ke baoyo ya liboso mpe bazalaki na problème eza nango akoloba na ye ekomitungisa mpo nango te ye abi non tokoki kotika yango kaka boye te il faut toluka lisungi depuis akenda babanda kosunga ye batie équipe momba en place oyo ezali koede mwana azali koespere ke changement ekomonana mais alingi azwa eloko nyonso na ndenge ya malamu alingi positivité ezala na katikati na esprit na ye donc chaque jour qui passe eyali jour ya esengo mpona ntina na ye parce que ayebi ke bazosunga mwana na ye.
Voilà.
Merci infiniment.
Yeah, that's so, it's very interesting. Yeah, because we need people like you in our community, because African people, we've got our own mindset, and especially when it comes to mental health, learning disability, autism, we the first things first, we think about evil, witchcraft, something is doing something beyond our back and stuff like that. And so many times, this is an issue, because sometimes we delay, some people, they can have mental health that's going to be treated in 1, 2, 3, 4 months and finish, but we delay.
Even
and
years.
Then, we delay for years and years and years. And by the time we bring our people there to get help, it's too late. So I think this is I don't know what really you can just tell people out there, African people out there, when you're going through something, when you've got a member of family who's going through something, especially when it comes to mental health or learning disability, what they have to do. First of all, what they have to spot and how they have to ask for help. Because most of the time we're scared about getting help because we know, especially when it comes to social worker, we don't want to be involved with those people because they're going to take this, they cannot do that, they're going to be in our back, they're going to take this away from us. What kind of advice you can give someone out there?
Especially they are saying that you are a stronger woman and you are the best of the mom.
Yes, she is.
Thank you.
She is,
To start with, I would say to that is just the grace of God, honestly. Because if you see me last year, my 2020 was, I would say it is good by the grace of God. Because I had to call the ambulance. Because you can imagine working full time, not sleeping, staying awake all night, because my son was screaming, he wouldn't sleep. In fact, at some point, the neighbors will call the police because they can't understand what's going on. And because at that time, I don't get it myself. But I will advise parents out there, look, if you discover something unusual, if you feel like your son or daughter had to have done a particular thing growing up, and they're not doing it, I would say ask for help. Look, it is better to ask for help early. With my second and my fourth son, I didn't ask for help. I was in denial. I was rejecting it. I would say, please speak up. And don't look at local authority as like they're going to be taking your kids away. Again, I've experienced that. So don't look at it that way. Just ask for help. Go ahead, speak up. And for some family members out there, I can't really blame them. They could think that, how are they going to, pass it across? Just summon that courage and speak up and just, speak about it. You can, some of the local authorities have their phone number. Just ring them, refer yourself in. Because in my case, mine was a case of carers breakdown. So the ambulance have to raise a safeguarding. You see, when we hear that word safeguarding, we think of something else, but it doesn't really work that. It's not always that way. So in my case, I am the one that needed to be safeguarded because I wasn't sleepy. I couldn't function well. I was like a shadow of myself. God forbid, if anything had happened to me then and I die, what's going to happen to my kids? So that intervention was just on point. So I would say, please speak out, ask for help.
Yes, thank
Mama
you very
nene
much.
atuni mama soki akoki kopesa muntu moko libanda kuna conseil par rapport soki ozali na mwana aza na handicap to ozali na ndeko azali na problème ya handicap, est-ce que ezali na moyen apesa ye conseil? Mama alobi que kozangisa te kosenga lisungi, kobanga city council na ote, kobanga social services te, senga lisungi parce que neti kana ye ezalaki protection pour natina na ye moko azaki na bana azana bana o bazana problème ya handicap et ezaki ko sala ki abandai ko lala même pas donc otambola na zaki lokwa ka mutu mwansa kufi parce que même pour ngia bandai ko lala te ti tango ambulance ya ki tango ba moni ba bi non o aza vraiment a besoin de sungi et tango ba sengeli les sungi 2020 ezaki ani moko difficile pour ne parce que déjà bandai ko accepter même pas que ba ani ba na problème mais tango ba tili les sungi en place a zongi na esengo akomi quand même à mesure ya okene musala parce que katak même ça parce que bande ko quand même pas ko tambola ko quand même pas ko réfléchir donc ezali important ya osenga lisungi batu ya social services bazaka wante pona oboto la bana mais bazawana pona ocha lisungi en place afin que famille za la malamu.
Thank you. So seek help, ask for help.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Miss Ola just said. To anyone going through this, I myself, I have 2 sons with autism, so they're 23 now, going on 23, so I have an idea of what you are talking about.
Ngai moko nazana bana mibale bazana autisme bazana bazoko kusa 23 ans donc naebi basi nini mama azo aleki na yango parce que naebi ndenge ni ezalaka.
So it's really important in our community to share and to talk about it, because I'm sure people, the Western or people in this country, they didn't just land from heaven.
No.
You know what I mean? They were just like people from just like us. They went through difficulties and it took them time, but because they were doing research, trying to find out what is happening, what is going on, and they kept talking about it. So it got to a point where they can just put everything on the table and discuss it and trying to find a solution.
Yeah.
But the thing with us is it's still taboo. People don't talk about it. People still, you know, so it's up to us, because if you don't seek help,
You won't find
how will people help you if you don't seek it, if you don't ask for it?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much up to us. Now, my question, Ms. Ola, my next question is about COVID-19.
Yeah.
Okay.
This pandemic, when this thing came last year, it pretty much took us by surprise.
Yeah.
Nobody knew exactly what was going on. Nobody, even the politicians, you know, the leaders of our country, this country here, they were just mumbling. People were just contradicting themselves. So nobody had any idea what was happening. So I'm trying to find out from you, being a mother with children already, you know, living with these challenges. Now this COVID-19 comes in, and people have to split. People can't. You can't go. You can't see your GP. You can't seek. You can even if you want to seek help. It's like help is, you can't go there. Everything is sealed off. You know, nobody's moving. There's no trust. People just, we didn't even know how do you get it. Do you know what I mean? If you shake hands with somebody, do you get it? So nobody really knew what was going on. Now, take us a little bit, you know, slowly but surely, how it affected you on a daily basis.
Thank you for that question. Sometimes early last year, January, we've been hearing about the COVID. You know, that this thing happened in China and it's now in England. To be sincere, it didn't really dawn to me then. I'm like, oh no, maybe it's not really, just like every other person. I'm just thinking, maybe it's just normal. But then when it was in March and we have to go on national lockdown, and I thought, no, this is serious. And then we heard that, oh, some people have been, you know, brought back into the UK who have tested positive. Honestly, after that time, I still feel like it's just like a story, honestly. Then when we went on lockdown, and I thought, this is actually real. You know, when you go out, you can hardly hear the bird. it was so quiet. I'm like, no, this is real. And I thought to myself, okay, as a mother, what do I do? Then I had to start educating my kids. I start teaching them, you know, you have to wash your hand. I have to tell them about what the COVID-19 is, you know, educate them on how to protect themselves, on how to make sure that they keep themselves clean. Then I was following the instructions that were given by the government, you know, to make sure that, you know, you have a house, stay in, don't go out except when it is necessary, except if you have to go out the shopping. I, for one, apart from the fact that I've got kids with special needs, I myself am one of the vulnerable. Vulnerable in the sense that I've got a health condition that, you know, I need to be very, very careful. Also, I am from the, you know, the Black Asian minority ethnic group. Because with what we heard on the TV, on the social media, is that we are exposed, more at risk, you know. So this thing got me really, really scared. But then I have to be strong for those kids. I have to be strong for my family as well. I have to be strong for, you know, my friends as well. So I thought to myself, okay, I need to calm down myself. I don't want to show my kids that I'm scared. They keep asking me questions. You know, every time we have to clap for NHS, and you know, it's so, so sad. Especially when you hear on the news, oh, we've lost this amount of number. This amount of number is in hospital. When they were showing us people who are on ventilator, it was really scary. And I thought to myself that, well, I'm not going to have it anyway because I'm at home. I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting their dad to do the shopping for us. But you see, I was wrong. Because the truth is, I end up having it myself.
Did you?
Yes. Anyway, do you want me to go into that?
Go on.
So,
Don't worry, she'll translate. She's our computer, so
I was really confused.
Yes.
So you have to go through it.
So I tried my best throughout to do the right thing. But then, because I've got 3 boys that play football as well, to be sincere with you, I don't know how I got it. It must have been maybe when I was taking them to football. But I tried my best. I made sure to keep that 2 meters apart. I made sure to wear my nose mask. Although part of some of the health conditions I have, I struggle when, you know, to breathe. But then I tried my best. But come November the 7th, I just started having this unusual cough. Some days before, I was having this terrible headache. But I thought, oh, maybe I'm stressed, maybe I need to rest. And then this cough started. And you see, when they tell you new continuous cough, they are right. Because this cough was just continuous, non-stop. And it got to a point that it feels like I'm coughing the whole of my intestine out. And I thought, you know what, I need to go for the test. And I went for the test, and behold, it was positive. So I got the result on Friday, it was positive. As at Saturday, I couldn't talk. And I remember sending a text to Auntie Pipi that, look, Auntie, I've got COVID and I can't talk. And as at Sunday night stroke Monday morning, I was vomiting blood. So it was that bad, and I became very scared. And as at this point, I couldn't talk anymore. What I didn't realize is that I was already losing oxygen. So because I struggled to breathe, it was so bad. And I'm asthmatic as well, with other health conditions. So everything, you know, joined together, it makes it really worse. As at that Monday morning, my 10-year-old son was scared to death. He had to ring the ambulance and say, look, my mom is very poorly. And when I said I was vomiting blood, you will have thought I've got cancer. You know, it was that bad. And then the ambulance came. And they said, look, with your condition, we have to take you into hospital. But you know, at that point, all I was doing is just praying to God, because I thought, will I be back alive? You know, when you see people on ventilator, they are in coma, they never made it back. And my son were crying, my children were crying, and I was distressed, honestly. But the paramedic was so good. They gave me lots of assurance, even though I couldn't talk. They gave me lots of assurance. They started checking my oxygen level. They gave me nebulizer, and they rushed me straight to Salford Royal Hospital. So I was in Salford Royal Hospital, and the staff were fantastic. They immediately started treatments on me, put me on nebulizer. They tried to get my vein, but you know me, I'm very stingy with my blood. So it was difficult for them to get the vein. So they started they put me on steroids, and that was really, really effective, and as well as nebulizer. So thank God, I respond to treatments.
Is it you?
Yeah, that was me.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
So thank God I responded to treatments, and the rest was story. And honestly, what I went through, I pray nobody go through it. But you see, I am lucky. I came back alive. I've lost, within the span of December to now, I've lost over 4 people that are very dear to me here in this Manchester.
Wow.
Yes. See, they never had the opportunity because it was so bad they went into coma. But I was lucky. I never went into coma. They never made it back alive. And they've got young kids. And another thing I want to say, and that was, I know you'll be wondering that, why did I take the vaccine? I had to take the vaccine. Initially...
Well, before we get to the vaccine.
I'm not sure that I'm going to be able. I'm not going to be able because she said so many things at a time.
No, just try your best.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah. Ndeko azokopesa ndenge ni alekisaki 2020 kobanda tango sango ya COVID ebandaki ti tango tokomi na mkola lelo. Alobi ke tango sango ya COVID ebandi azaki lokola bato nyonso bia eza nango musika eza nango na Chine ekoma nango awa te. Après toyekoma na mois de mars ekomi ke non tokomi na lockdown. Alors tant tokoti na confinement abi non makambo ekomi sérieux parce que tokoki kosala confinement ka abo ete. Alors abandi ko l'accès ko bana na ye ndenge ne kuki bazwa ba geste barrière va banda osala ba geste barrière ba banda ko sukola maboko abandi ko éduquer bana na ye par rapport ya COVID. Alors ba fandi mikoleza koleka titan to komi na novembre en tout cas bande ko mibate la bande ko lata masque mari kaza ba problème même sur la santé ayeba que il faut vraiment asala attention yango abande ko mibate la mais azo penser que tant abande bana na beta football. Alors azo penser que tant azaye ko ketika bana football sûrement azwaki COVID na nzela yango wana. Mais même tant abande ko ketika bana na football abande toujours ko se protéger azaye ko lata masque na ye azalaki ko zala musika par rapport ya bato mususu. Mais à comprendre que tendeni ni COVID ezwaki. Alors en novembre ayeko vendredi moko à la muki azoka kosuko sezo silate. Abi non, dès kosuko sezo silate, il faut ameka koluka lisungi ya monganga mais abi bon tant susu eleka na onka. Aya kola tango la muki na tongo en tout cas comment qui passe yazoko suko respirer respiration et comment qui na problème. A comme même na niveau ya osanza makila. Alors moi na abi makambo bazomona il faut ka babenga ambulance eya pour bakende na hôpital tant ba beni ambulance eye a expliquer bango malgré que bande ko lobate ba rassurer que ozala bien to prendre soin na yo alors ba na hôpital ba kei na ambulance ememi na hôpital tant ba comme na hôpital ba pesi ba kisi ba ndenge to moni photo azaki na ser oxygène parce que oxygène na ye kitaki ba pesi ba kisi ayoki bien yango alobi ke akomisi nzambe parce que ye azwi grâce wana ya ozonga na bomo mais bato mususu pe bakendaki na ba condition moko na ye o lelo bazana biso te donc pamboli nzambe pona tia na en
tout cas merci infiniment Maman coach please
I've got a lot, you. You bring a lot today to us. Thank you so much for being there.
You're welcome.
So it's quite challenging life, is it? I can imagine having children with special need in a house, and then you, the mother,
ending in the hospital
and end up in the hospital. That was hard for you.
Yeah, it was.
Like you said, thank God for that. You are
one alive.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you a question about talking about COVID-19. So you've been in hospital. For how long have you been in hospital anyway?
Luckily, 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Because even though, the nurses and doctors were doing their best as well, thank God I was responding.
Yeah.
And I was also praying because I'm a fit person, So, so it was.
Hours.
So even then, I still didn't have my speech.
Yeah.
I still lost my taste of smell and,
So you've been discharged without any word in your mouth? No. You're not talking, not speaking at all?
I could talk a bit, but I can't talk for so long. I could just say simple yes and no.
Okay. And you just spoke about something before. I never knew that COVID, one of the symptoms is vomiting blood.
Well, I was shocked myself.
Yeah.
I was shocked, And I think what led to that was the fact that because I was coughing a lot.
Yeah.
So according to what they told me, that because it was so bad that what I was coughing was just blood. Yeah, it is that bad. And that's why we need to take it seriously.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. If you understand.
Yeah.
So because of what you went through with COVID,
it
puts you in a position of accepting a vaccine quick.
No. Right, I'll tell you the story about that vaccine as well.
Okay.
So you will have thought that for someone who has been through what I've been through, as soon as I heard about the vaccine, I should be the first person to go for it. Well, the answer is no. Just like what we hear on the social media, the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
We hear stories about, there's a 5G something, exactly. We are going to be the British, the Black American, the Black Asian and minority. Yeah. We are the scapegoats. I don't know if you heard about that as well. Guinea pig. Exactly. And then apart from that, we're seeing these pictures on WhatsApp about, that is the result of the 5G. People were just making all sort of stories. Yeah. I was kind of scared, honestly. And I thought, no. And I thought with the invention of the vaccine as well, I thought that was a bit too quick. But I'm thinking in my head, no, I won't take it. I will wait and see other people take it first and see if they have this, because obviously we're told that there is, I don't know, somebody told me that there was a country whereby 28 people died. Just hearing all sort of things. I thought, no.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I said, no, I'm not going to have it. So I didn't have it. And not until last month, I remember actually sending me a text. Have you had your vaccine? I'm like, nope. Why have you not had it? But you know what? Before then, I actually booked it. At some point, my manager called me from work. I said, Hola, how are you doing? I've had my vaccine. Have you had yours? I'm like, no, Oga. Why have you not had it? Oga, I'm scared. And then he spoke to me. He talked to me about it. He said, look, Ola, why are you scared? Read up about it. Don't be scared. Just forget about what you're hearing on social media. You just take your time and read up about it. And I did that. Then I booked the test. Then I canceled it again. Then I moved it forward again. Then I thought, you know what? I'll wait till after March. Let me wait till April. At least if anybody's going to react, I will have seen it. Then I book it in April. But then, when I don't know if it was until that tested me, then I thought, you know what? And my manager called me and I was like, you know what? I've had it. And I realized that people around me were dying. And it got down to me that, you know what? Do you want to save yourself and protect your family and the community? And I thought, you know what? I think I'll just go ahead and have it. So I canceled the appointment for April. Then I had it last week.
Wow. So for the love of the community, for love of your children.
Honestly, my family, the community, and I thought, you know, and besides, there are a lot of people that look up to me because of the kind of job I do. I have lots of friends and family that thought, okay, we'll wait and see what Allah does. Okay. And as soon as I had it, my sister went to have us. Some of my friends have had theirs. Yeah. Although some people react differently to it. Yeah. Some people, like my sister, she had headache and she was having sore throat, but that was only for a day. And I said, just take some medication. She was fine. Then my other friend, she said she was feeling feverish during the night. She had the AstraZeneca one, which is the one I had as well. Yeah. And she's fine the next day. Funny enough, I never had any reaction. I was fine. So to people, they react differently. Yeah. Because when you think about the risk, people keep saying that, what is the point of having it when you still have COVID anyway? Okay, let's talk about flu jab. Yeah. We do have flu jab every year. Like since I've been into this country, I've been having flu jab for 16 years. I've only had the flu once. And when I had it, it wasn't something that I couldn't bear, if you know what I mean. So with COVID, I'll tell you from an experience. Somebody was sharing a story with us at work, and apparently one of our colleagues, she had it the first time. It was really bad. She survived it. But guess what? The second time, she didn't survive it. She died, leaving little kids behind because there was no vaccination then. So she didn't have the chance. And I'm sure if she was alive, she would have been eager to have the vaccination. So they're not saying that the vaccination is going to prevent you. You may still have it, but the severity, it won't be so severe. So someone like me now, I may still have it again, but it won't be as severe as the experience I had the first time. So I would just advise people, our people, we need to actually, let's forget about all this conspiracy theory. Let's read about it. Let's read up about this vaccine. Because we're not only protecting ourselves, we're protecting our family and our community at large.
But as someone from the Black community, was it an easy decision for you to make it to the hospital to go when you were sick? Because they were saying that when you are Black, you go to the hospital, you will die there because no one's going to look after you. No. How was it for you?
For me, at that point, I couldn't even do anything. I was helpless. All I want to do is just be able to breathe. That is what is important to me at that point. And anything that they will have to put to help me to breathe, is what is important to me. Because this is me dying, and somebody is there to help me. Will I refuse the help? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know why people are saying all those things, but my experience with Salford Royal was fantastic. They were amazing. In fact, honestly, the staff that attended to me that day were wonderful. So I don't know, I haven't said that, I don't know about other people's experience, but I'm just, from my experience, the paramedics were awesome. Honestly, they were so, actually, maybe they will have thought of the fact that, look, from my background, they took extra care looking after me. So I will urge people, please don't think that way. I mean, people have their opinion. Maybe some people may have experienced it, but for me, I never had such experience.
So for you, Ola, you advise people to go and take the vaccine?
To be sincere, people have their choice, but I will encourage you to know more about this vaccination and then make your decision. At the end of the day, it's all about people's choices. We have to let people take their own choice. But what I will employ you to do is to think of the fact that, look, if you look at it, we are the one that suffer this most. We've got family. As mothers, I want to be alive to see my children to greater heights. So if taking the vaccine is going to help me to do that, I know God is the one that gives us life. Of course, we're going to be praying because we are faith people. I'm a Christian. I'm going to be praying, but I've got to do my own work as well. If my own work is to make sure that I take the vaccine to protect myself, to protect my children, and to protect my community at large, of course, I will do that. So I'm going to encourage people, please, and please, think about it. Okay? Don't listen to hearsay. Don't listen to all these things. You read up about it. If you're not sure, speak to somebody. Speak to somebody. You can speak to your doctor. Speak to people that have had the vaccine. Ask them of their experience. And I'm sure they'll be more than happy to share that with you.
Miss Ola, somebody is out there watching you, listening to you, and they're thinking, the government said the reason why they had to come up with this vaccine as soon as possible was because the medical staff were just overwhelmed. The hospital, they got to a level where they couldn't really help everybody. They had people that it got to a point where the medical body they were playing God. They got to a level where they were deciding who lives or who dies, because some people, there was not enough, ventilators for everybody. Or beds. So they got to a point where they had to choose. Now, they came out with this vaccine to kill black people. And they went and gave the vaccine to the medical body first, or the vulnerable, and then the medical body. Now, you listening to all this, somebody could be sitting out there thinking, yeah, Mr. Ola just got paid a lot of money to come on the telly and, just tell us, yeah, go on and, go kill yourself or something. You're listening to all that. I know it sounds funny, but as you went through the COVID disease, you got to a point, you went to hospital and you were, your life was almost on the balance. You almost, lost your life and you almost left your kids behind. Now, when you think about all that, what can you say to a person like that?
To start with, I don't even know anybody in the government. So I'm just an individual person that I've had the life experience of having COVID. And all I'm going to say to you is that I'm still alive. I had the COVID vaccine last week, and by the grace of God, I'm still alive. So please don't listen to all those things. To be sincere with you, I was once in that shoe. I was reading all sort of things that was coming on WhatsApp and the kind of things that we hear in social media. Please don't listen to them. And the reason why I think the government decided to give the nurses first was because they are in the core front. A lot of them died as well. A lot of them. both English and black, a lot of people died. So it's not about, in my opinion, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's true. You know, I think they have to come up with something to protect the community. I think that's what, in my opinion, that's what I think the government is trying to do. Because I've had the vaccine and I feel good and I feel okay. You know, if the government were trying to get rid of a certain number of people, maybe I should have been 6 feet under the ground by now. So I don't, you know, please, let's not bug our head with such kind of things. I would say, please, speak to people that have had it. I mean, if you've come across someone that have had COVID, you will know what it is like. It's not a good experience. It's not something, you know, even honestly, I had to try and fight back tears because when I try to remember what I went through, it's not something that you want to put your family through. You know. So please, just forget about all this hearsays, all these things that you hear on social media. You speak to people that, you know, speak to family that you know have had the experience, people that, you know, or also speak to your doctors. They are in a better position to give you the best advice.
Thank you, Ms. Ola. Mama President, can you please translate? You don't even know where to start doing.
Don't worry, Auntie. In a nutshell, seek advice. In a nutshell.
I'm
just overwhelmed by what she shared.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Yeah. So please, if well, I mean, you said it all. The people need to, of course, people have their choices. You know, it's your choice what you decide to do. But it's also important to educate yourself.
Yes.
You know, when you're going to make a decision based on right information. Don't just make your decision based on assumptions or emotions or, you know, whatever people are putting out there. Because some of the stuff people are putting out there, when you think about it, it's corny and some of it is so stupid and people don't take time to think.
No.
You see, just because you
they
see
let
somebody
others think for them.
Exactly. Just because somebody, you know, is confident in whatever they're saying, it doesn't mean what they're saying is actually true.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? We've seen doctors who have killed people and you know they end up in jail. But they were doctors. You know, people make mistakes and so on and so forth. But the most important thing is before you make a decision, and you should really educate yourself, and also before you share any information, read it, understand it properly, because when you pass on information, it's your credibility that is on the line as well. Because when I send something to somebody, they're thinking because it's me, whatever I send them, they have to believe in that, because it's your credibility. If you're a very credible person, yes, whoever you send the message is going to think, oh yeah, because someone had said it, someone had shared it, that means they vouched it, that means they're saying, yeah, this is the truth. So you always have to be mindful of that.
Of what you share.
You know, of what you share. You have to be responsible in a way, because, you know, out of many, we are all one, you know, we are all one in this. COVID is not going to discriminate, like it's going just for the white or for the blacks. No, whoever COVID meets, it's a matter of death or life. So you really have to be careful. Now we're almost at the end of our program. I would like to ask Mama President, I don't know if you can, there's something you want to add, or there's a question that you want to ask. I know you're a bit overwhelmed based on what she said, but if you can.
Thank you, Lola, for leaving your house, coming here, sharing your experience with us. We are really grateful. Pona bandeko na biso ya communauté congolaise, o bazalaki kolanda biso durant 3 semaines, tokomi na suka ya programme na biso ya vaccin. J'espère que mutu moko azwi makasi ya kokende zo vaccin na ye, et que tant nyonso tolekisi awa tolekisaki yango mpona kopesa bino bainformation oyo esengeli par rapport ya bato oyo bazwi vaccin, bato oyo babelaki covid, et tozo ko encourager bino bokende kozwa vaccin na bino. Lundi bana bazozonga classe bo continuer ko encourager bango ba observer ba gestes barrières ba yeba bino pe na ndako boyeba ko observer ba gestes barrières bo relâcher te parce que malade ezanano. Ba parents o bazana bana ya école primaire bako banda routine de la bino kits pour banda pour se tester na ndako 2 fois la semaine. Bana ba se tester 2 fois la semaine. Bino pe ba parents il faut se tester 2 fois la semaine. Donc vous avez un peu comment Covid et zo maman va tracasser na yango so ko na o vaccin na o ba lo ko na nyonso e comment apporte na o te pour ça la question na libéro lobby bana la même chose na moment moko et ko l'église quand même. Donc espérons quand même que courbe wane pour continuer ko kita et que maladie aussi là parce que tout le monde est maladie ici là même ceux qui aussi là complètement mais tous ont quand même la vie moins normale quoi. Et puis information sur les alliés bientôt tous ont un recensement ce qu'aujourd'hui lettre il y a quand sur les psychofandaka et sengi au compléter information pour na libota na yo salango parce que va ça la recensement va coucher belé tout va combien de personnes va tiper na mukili donc ekobanda Sunday le 21. Donc je pense que le 21 mars recensement ça na UK vous allez informer pour na ko remplir botinda na office ya statistique bazana besoin na yako. Merci beaucoup na maman Nelly, merci beaucoup na Maréchal na ninge bo accompagner qui émission il y a 20 heures chez vous. 20 heures chez vous semaine prochaine izate peut-être semaine où ekolandi ko yana format mususu pour na ko discuter toujours mambo santé, culture, communauté ainsi de suite mais ko redesign encore 3 semaines tolobaki tokosala pour na campagne de vaccination comme na suka il y a une maman qui nous avait dit que hier à aux vaccins so comme on dit après 3 semaines tozana na bon mois maman so la biso 3 semaines ya bon tozana na bino elongo et na bokanza le to continue koza toujours elongo donc so la ndai biso pendant 3 semaines ndo aux vaccins na parce que jusque là tozaka na ensemble.
Voilà.
Merci infiniment. Mon nom est
Vraiment, okay, I have to speak English, so all I cannot be lost, is it? Right. It was a pleasure to have you in our program today. You really help a lot, and God bless you. I know you are a woman of faith, so
but I think that you need to come back because of your experience of social services. You need to share that with the community.
Yeah.
And also, how did you get involved in social services? Because you know, for in our community, when you talk about social services, it's
scary.
Like, oh. You need to come back to explain to us how you got involved.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be great. It was a pleasure to have you around, and like Mama Pe said, we will see you again one of these days. So you come and talk about social services involvement in family, about stealing people's children, and things like that. Yeah, so we're just at the end of our program today. I don't know if you've got the last word or something you want to pass through our community.
Yeah, so what I'll just say is that, look, this COVID is here, and I think we all have to be committed. We all have a role to play in this. Okay, like I said, let's educate ourselves. Let's be made aware. If you're not sure of something, please, like I said, ask questions. You know, speak to people who can enlighten you more about it. And above all, please, let's protect ourselves. Let's take the bold step to take that vaccination. You know, like it's not a force. I understand how it's by choice, but I will advise that please think about it. Have a think of it. Take the vaccination. Protect yourself. Protect your family and the community at large. Thank you.
God bless you, Ola.
Thank
Maréchal.
you. Yeah. Well, I mean, we basically said it all. Protect yourself. Educate yourself, because that's the most important thing. Is to educate yourself. Know what you're talking about. And if you don't know what you're talking about, don't say anything. I would have said shut up, but I'm trying to be nice. So please, when you're not sure about what you're talking about, please keep quiet. And when you find out, then you can come and say, listen, you know, because we have people calling and saying, oh yeah, I'm against this and I want to come and say something. Well, unless you're a doctor, unless you have the right information, yes, of course, you can come in. But don't just come in with opinions or emotions or just how you feel. Because everybody feels a certain way. Do you know what I mean? We all have feelings.
Yeah.
But it's important when you come in front of people, especially our community, you come with information and the right information that you can back it up. Because we're talking science here, okay? This isn't the first time that the world has gone through something so difficult. This isn't the first time. But you got to remember, things are evolving, yeah? Things are evolving, people are evolving, things are changing. So please educate yourself. Like Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to emancipate yourself. You got to find new ideas. You have to find new ways of thinking. You can't just keep on thinking the same way you were thinking 10 years ago.
Right.
So on that, Miss Ola, thank you very much for coming. And God bless you with those special children of yours, because we know God doesn't give. Whenever God gives you something, that means God thinks you're the one, you're the only one that can actually handle it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can be a light for a lot of people. Because if God didn't give you those children, maybe you wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And God gave you those children so that you can be the light for other people who have the same type of children, but they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Especially in our continent, it's still a big problem. Do you know what I mean? These kids back home, they're going through a lot. Because people are calling them witchcraft or demons. God knows it. You go to some churches, you know, it's just crazy, you know. So if God has, you know, appointed you to be this, you know, channel that those kids have to come through you, there must be a reason to it.
Yeah.
So please don't give up.
She's a strong woman. She will never
Well,
give
I
up.
can tell. But you know what I mean? Just keep going.
Keep going.
And God will see you through.
Amen.
God will see you through. So on that note, we say goodbye to all of you. God bless you. Take care.
God bless you
Bye-bye.
all. Bye.
I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power, I work in miracles, I live a life of favor, for I know who I am. I'm working in power, I work in miracles, I live a life of favor, for I know who I am.
Oh, hi, Natalie.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
Can you remember
I just found out, you know, not long ago.
See the stuff?
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Very amazing.
I'm so impressed.
Smoking turkey, fresh turkey,
Literally.
chicken. You know, I saw some fish there because I love fish.
Are you sure?
Oh my God.
Show me because I'm actually. They've even got chicken.
Look at that one. Everything is full.
Oh my God. Wow.
20, great Chittering Street.
Oh yeah.
Salford.
Food, and they open from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you're surrounded by the area, please come and shop.
Great. You're
Also
welcome.
on Sundays, you know, more shop closed on Friday on Sundays, but you've already opened from 10 to 4
a.m.
as
to
well.
4 p.m.
And the quantity is a lot as well.
Amazing
So we can't
quantity,
deny.
amazing price.
What kind of fish is this?
Wow, croaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yellow croaker.
Yellow croaker.
Yeah.
I should
Everything
probably
there.
try this.
It's just amazing.
Amazing.
Look at that. There's chicken there, chicken legs. You love chicken legs. All the veg are
Wow.
there. And the amazing things is they're opening the beauty upstairs, what they can sell products.
Oh yeah, the owner was saying, yeah. They have so much to offer.
So much choice.
So much to
Rice,
offer.
Everything. There's even pondu for Congolese people.
Matembele, I saw matembele as well.
Matembele, BC, everything's down there. Amazing.
Like if you
And
look
the
around,
price is amazing.
the meat as well. The range of meat is really, really amazing.
Very,
So
and fresh, you can tell.
fresh as well.
Look at that.
So
Look
we
at
can't
that.
go wrong.
Amazing.
I just love it. I'm really, really loving it.
Right, for black people out there, give a hand to our brother.
Definitely.
You know,
Support the black
encourage
business.
Black business.
Exactly.
This is the time.
This is the time.
This is the time. We need to stand up.
We need to
for our
stand up,
brothers.
definitely. Wow, amazing. Around, obviously talking about a desk shop. We've got the car parking space. You can tell for yourselves. They have a great capacity to, you know, accommodate many cars. So if you follow me, as you can see, they've got a few customers around here. This is basically the car parking space, and yeah, you're welcome to come at any time. Again, it's at number 320 Great Cheetham Street in Manchester. So just between there's a McDonald's. As you go past the McDonald's, you'll find the shop at the end. It's called Edes. Hopefully we get to see you. Like we said, it's a black owned shop. So let us support the business for our black people. And yeah, this is pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, like again, you can see